Welcome, loved ones, family, friends, teachers, administration and board, other community members, and most importantly, class of 2020. We did it. First and foremost, I want to thank my amazing parents, sister, aunts, uncles, friends, and teachers. This year did not go as many of us planned. Like my fellow students and school's staff members, I never thought that March 12th would be the last time we would meet here in school. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and the police brutality occurring every day in this country, our community has been faced with innumerable trials and tribulations. In spite of these hardships that we have and continue to endure, I am proud to be standing, at least 6 feet apart, from these strong women of color, Nicole and Tyra. I cannot remember the last time when the top 3 ranked students of Norristown's graduating class were women of color. Although this representation is a big step, there is still more to be done. Firstly, I want to address the model minority myth. Model minority is a stereotype that is placed on Asian Americans where we are expected to set an example of academic achievement for others. While this may not seem too bad, we are also stereotyped as weak, docile, and complacent. But what does it look like? It is being told by a teacher what to say and do with the assumption that you will quietly follow, even if you disagree. It is having your words and ideas dismissed and not taken seriously. During the pandemic, like many other Asians, I was met with an unprecedented number of racial slurs. People told me to go back to my country and that it was my fault that we were in this pandemic and that my people brought this Chinese virus here. Thankfully, in my time of hurt and pain, I had people stand up beside me. I had people who informed themselves and educated the misinformed. It is evident that we cannot remain complacent. However, it would be foolish to only acknowledge the pain that Asian Americans face and to ignore the struggles of others. While I do suffer from the impacts of stereotypes, they sometimes play to my benefit. I can walk through the halls of Norristown without a pass and not get stopped. Yet, others are given detentions for the same offense. I can zone out in class, but if a peer were to do the same, he or she would be reprimanded. Privilege can be defined as an advantage granted only to a particular person or group. At this superficial level, privilege may seem straightforward, but the implications of it are more difficult to recognize. To not live and experience the pain that these communities face is privilege. To not acknowledge the systemic racial inequalities that run deep in this country and are still very much prevalent so today is privilege. To turn a blind eye when we see our friends and fellow community members suffering, getting beat down, and treated unjustly is privilege. It is having all of the ingredients and opportunities to achieve success, but not using whatever platform you have to speak out for others. It is our duty as citizens and members of the community to use our varying levels of privilege. It is our responsibility to listen to the stories of our community members, even if these stories do not match our own experiences. We must better educate ourselves on topics that might be uncomfortable for us to discuss. To be silent and uninformed on the events occurring in our communities is to be complacent. It is undeniable. We are in the midst of making history. The last time the world endured a pandemic was over a century ago. The last major civil rights movement occurred nearly 60 years ago. We are the people who are responsible for writing these next few chapters and future history books. We will not sit idly by when we see injustices within our communities. This past week, we showed that we will not tolerate bigotry and ignorance from an individual who has the power to inspire young minds in the classroom. We are strong when we stand together and support one another. As cliche as it sounds, this year has truly changed us all for the better. I am proud to have experienced this with you. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.